Wacky Wednesday. How are we doing, everybody? This guy, Sammy the Man McIntyre with Moving the Chains podcast. We are rocking. We are rolling. I'm not feeling as good as Aidan Hutchinson today. He got a massive 4-year, $180 million, $141 million guaranteed. My guy, Mike Kesnick, and Derek Solomon, all my Lion buddies are loving that. Can I get a hell yeah, brother? Let's go. They got their core locked up. This is fantastic news for Detroit today, who's on a roll to be one of the best teams in the NFC again. Them and Green Bay are fighting for that division right now. They got everything rocking, rolling in Detroit, Rock City. They are rocking. They are rolling. But I wanted to start with this. So I was at the gym yesterday, Monday actually, 2 days earlier, and I saw the Raiders do something really dumb. They signed Tyler Lockett. What? I didn't believe it. And then I figured it out. I went, here we go again. You know what this reminds me of? 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. Josh McDumbass back at it again with New England. Trying to recreate the past to try and bring it to the Raiders to get him a winner. It's not going to work. This feels like a retirement thing with the Raiders. And I hate being this. Feels like the butt of jokes. Remember this Randy Moss, Devontae Adams? Feel like they just collect the check. I mean, what are we doing? And now they're going to put Jacoby Myers, who's one of the most consistent players on this Raider offense, that's been shifting with shit around it. He's been your one bright spot, and you're going to trade him on the trade block? What are we doing? Again, we keep rebuilding. This is not what we're doing. You need to stay true and let it bake. They just want the cake made, and they want it all done. I'm watching Detroit. Detroit used to be the Raiders. And look at Detroit. They're a power now. Because they got an elite coach. They got a star GM. They draft well. They know what they're getting in players. They stay true. And yet, I look up and the Raiders, they haven't changed much. Lions got out of their own way. Raiders are still stuck in their own way. And the good news for the Raiders is Brock Bowers comes back. I got that news tonight. That made me the happiest out of that dark news I just mentioned. So that's the only positive thing about the Raiders this week. And I will say this right now. I'm challenging the Raiders. You play Jacksonville at home, 2 home games right now. You better come out. And I want to see you open up from that opening jump kickoff. I want you to have an attitude and a ruthless aggression. I need you to come out with that. Because if you do not, the Jacksonville game, to me, when I look at that game, and I'll give my picks on Thursday, it's a give or take for me on that game. But the challenge is, you have to play a game Sunday, and 3 days later, play your rival at home. And that's the dirty, and I mean dirty, Denver Donkeys. They're coming into our palace, into that Allegiant. And you better open up a can of whoop ass. And it better be a better all-time effort than what I saw 2 weeks ago in Arrowhead getting shut out 31-0. Because if not, I'm going to be pissed. Because that's not what Raiders do. They show up. We hate the Broncos. This is an arch rival. We hate them. We want to knock their teeth out and spit on them. Yeah, back to old school days. It's those dirty donkeys. Chucky's ready to play. You better come out. Okay? This game, if you win against Jacksonville, you're 3-5, you got someone salvageable. But you play Denver 3 days later. And I'm not saying you'd win that game, but you better put a fight up. And if you beat Denver at home, then you're back in business. But if you don't, I'm going to start questioning this organization from top to bottom. What's Sean Spytek doing? What's Pete Carroll doing? What's going on? Are we just cursed? I don't know. But you better get this shit right and right now. Because if not, I mean, I'm getting close to being ready for April. But if you win a couple of these games, somewhat salvageable, I'll take it. But you better open up that can of whoop ass and bring an attitude and a ruthless aggression on Sunday against Jacksonville. So, I wanted to touch on. So, at the top of the show, I said Aidan Hutchinson got his money. And I got that alert today. I was at work, and then I saw it tonight at the gym, and then I saw my buddy Anthony Giles, who I got to give a shout-out to. He's my guy, biggest Lions fan I know. I met him at the Detroit Raider game a couple years ago with my guy Andrew, who's the biggest Raider fan I know, from Jersey. So I was thinking about this today. So the Lions are in a great spot right now. And I took a screenshot of what Anthony talked about. They're keeping their core players. They're not letting them flee. They got them locked up for years. They're paying the right guys at the right positions. Right? Left tackle, pass rusher, quarterback. Those are three, right? So they're doing it the right way, and they hit on their draft picks. I can't say enough about the Lions. I keep saying this all the time. They're elite. Even Chris Sims was on Dan Patrick today, and Dan Patrick asked the question, who's the best team in the NFC? And he's picked Detroit. He had like five of them that are, because the NFC to me is more deeper right now than the AFC. Because like Kansas City, Colts, and it's like, who else? Chargers, Texans flaws, Steelers flaws. Like, you look around. NFC, Tampa Bay's elite. Gotta get health right? I look at Seattle, elite roster, right there, ready to be a Super Bowl contender. Niners are viable. The Rams are viable with Stafford and that the Super Bowl winning roster if they get that right stuff. Green Bay, just play better. That's all I'm asking Green Bay to do. You play with your food a lot. You're still a young team, I get it. But I'm watching Detroit right now. Them at home on that fast track. And listen, they're okay on the road. I'm not, like, they're not bums. Like, it's not like the Dolphins at home, you put them in sunshine and they're great, and then you put them out in the cold, they suck. It's not the case here. Detroit's real. And I'm telling you right now, when you have a great offensive line and you have a quarterback that can just get the job done, you're going to win games in this league. Now, you got to show me in December. In January. Because you had your shot last year and it didn't go well. Now's your time. Because Washington's down. Dallas, you don't have to worry about them. Philly, probably you have to worry about. Tampa. Seattle. So you got some teams you got to worry about. I don't worry at all about the Lions. They're elite right now. And they're doing things that I'm proud of. Right? Paying Aidan Hutchinson early. Paying Penei Sewell early. Who is an absolute badass. He's an elite player at his position. And you know what guy came to my mind the other day? I was thinking about this tonight. My guy, Will Campbell, from the New England Patriots, who I told you last year, God is my witness, I told you guys, that's my kind of guy. And when he got picked by New England, I went, this feels right. That's like his Taylor Lewan in Tennessee. Badass, put the dip in, spitting and badass and just tough guy. Ass kicker. Penei Sewell's that guy. So I am so happy for the Lions. They got that deal done today. Fantastic. He's a Michigan-made man. My guy Mark Chappius, I'm rooting for him. I got cousins that went to the Big Ten schools, Iowa, Illinois, Northwestern. I follow the Big Ten closely. And I root for Big Ten schools. And I just, like I said, Hutchinson's a badass. I think that pick is really helping the Lions out. And the Jaguars had that shot of getting him. And it didn't, I got it. So good news for the Lions. They're elite. They're keeping their players. It is looking fantastic in the Motor City up in Detroit. So last but not least, I wanted to touch on this. So Brian Kelly got fired this weekend, as most people saw the LSU debacle Saturday night. And I'm watching it, and it kind of comes to show me life's hard, but there's some things that are true in life. Just be a good person. Don't be an asshole. We all have our days. We're all guys. Guys have this. Guys are schmucks, okay? I'm just speaking from my perspective. Sometimes I need to go to therapy, right? Why am I an idiot? Why am I a dumbass? Why do I do that, And why am I so crazy? And I think about that with Brian Kelly. And look, I respect Brian Kelly. He had his issues in Notre Dame. He was an angry, gruff guy. He got better, but he still had that in him. And, listen, you can bark and you can do all that stuff when you're winning 10, 11 games a year and you're kicking everybody's ass. But it turns on you when you're winning 7. And, I've seen this. And I saw that at LSU. And The problem with him was at LSU, to me, is, and I heard this too, like, you got to fit matters and all that. I understand it does. But to me, he had the fake accent. I can't unsee that. He's at the LSU basketball game. He's got the, I'm out, man. You got to be true to who you are. And we deal with this in life. I deal with it at work. People deal with it. I see it. Be true to who you are. And Brian Kelly, the minute he put that fake accent on, he wasn't being true to who he is. And so when you add that on top of them not playing well, them being inconsistent, despite getting portal classes and all this stuff, he just went for the money. And listen, I don't have a problem with money. I'm pro money, make it, whatever. But he didn't get the job done. And the other thing is, if he's a CEO head coach, why are you could tell your coordinators, don't call that fucking play. That's a shitty play to call. You control that. But when I see him yelling on the sideline, that just was a bad look for me. The performance Saturday night was awful. Yet again, losing to A&M when you had a lead. That's a problem. It's one thing, okay, Bama beat you, got it. A&M beat you, that's fine. But Vanderbilt kicking your ass, woo! Not going to fly in Baton Rouge. Nope. And that's the thing with LSU. You look around, and I've been to, listen, I'll talk about the coaching landscape right now in college football. That's the best job right now. We can talk about Florida and Penn State and all these other schools. Screw that. I'm going to LSU. Because I've seen this movie. If you get the coach right, Nick Saban, Edo, wasn't great, but recruiter and felt right to that region. Louisiana, born on the bayou, woo! NASCAR, brother, okay? He felt right for Louisiana. I'm watching Brian Kelly. Didn't feel right. He's a Midwest guy. Eastern, East Coast, tough, Boston, intense, gruff, jet stream of anger, and then I see him go to Notre Dame, have the same shit, and I go to LSU, and it's just different. It's just different in the South. I've been there. I know cousins that live there. It's just different. It's a different vibe. I get it. Just like the Midwest is different. Just like the West Coast is different. So, Northeast, I get it. But regions matter in college football. I watch, and Brian Kelly just didn't have relationships with people. That's the other thing. Is I'm reading now, nobody liked him. Andy Staples talked about this, the college football guy today. I'm watching, and it just felt the same shit again. Like, he just wasn't likable. And I go back to this, and my dad and I get in this all the time. Likability matters. I've always said this with Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. Aaron is more talented and fits today's game more than Brett Favre. Brett Favre was more likable. Now, both of them had their faults. Favre, we all know. You don't need to dive into it. Sent a picture of his junk to a Jets employee, blah, blah, blah. I know. Okay? As a married man. And Aaron just was weird with all of his vaccine shit, whatever. But my point is, you have to be true to who yourself is. And I'm watching Brian Kelly. He's just not true to himself. That's the bottom line. That's why I think he got canned. And it's a shame because I like Brian Kelly as a coach, but I felt like he was more Midwest, Wisconsin, Eastern Michigan, Central. And I've defended Brian Kelly. He's transformed programs. He did it 3 times. But you got to be true to who you are. And when I saw him trying to do the fake accent and all this other shit at LSU, it was destined to fail. And listen, you can be an asshole and all that stuff, but he had relationships with people. When I watched Nick Saban, he was a screamer, a yeller. Kirby Smart, you go to Georgia practice, same thing. But when you go to a LSU practice, who's rooting for Brian Kelly? Who's defending him? Nobody. So it just goes to show you in life, you have to be likable. And, you got to be likable. That's the only thing. And it's kind of what I point to with Bill Belichick. Oh, good old Belichick. Woo! How about those Tar Heels? Oh, shucks, hooky darn. Woo! How you liking it, Bill? You like college football? Yeah? You like being 2-5 and sucking? Because I am loving every minute of it. I love it. Because it goes to show. Last 5 years, Bill, of your life, you've been a fucking asshole. You've blown people off. You're standoffish. And yeah, you've been kicking everybody's ass. But near the end, we all know what a product of it was. Tom Brady ran it, not you. Sorry. And I'm telling you, likability matters. And I watch Belichick, and you got this video of Mike Lombardi on a typewriter, and what are we doing? And his girlfriend is Photoshop. I mean, it's just, what I laugh about Belichick is he says, I don't want any distractions. Do your job. Bill, you're the biggest distraction of all of them, you dumbass. What are we doing? I mean, this is just, I knew this was going to be a shit show from the jump. I mean, it's a mockery now. I love making fun of it. So, I laugh, man. And Belichick cracks me up. Because he hasn't changed. And some guys, just their personality, that's fine. But you got to be likable. And when I'm watching Belichick, and he just kind of standoffish, he's always been. But when he's winning, kicking your ass, whatever, you're all in. Just Belichick, man. That was, I just love watching some people just fail. Right? Bill Belichick's one of them. Grumpy, stubborn, arrogant asshole. That, I get it. He's 73. She's 24. Don't love that, but they're consenting adults. I get it. Probably had some adult fun. Got to like Donkey Kong later. Okay? So, there you go. So that's all I want to touch on tonight. Just a couple of things I wanted to touch on. I got my picks tomorrow night. We got the Raven game tomorrow night. Should be entertaining. Lamar's back. Tua. We'll see. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. I love posting content. I love your guys' support. Have a great night. Adios. Wacky Wednesday. Godspeed. I'm out.